post that video even when there were protests all over the country. Baba Mohbad insisted that he will not allow anybody to visit Mohbad's grave and remove and exhume the body. He said it, that he had that some people want to go and exhume the body. He will never subscribe to that. I don't know how eventually he subscribed to it when the government went there to exhume the body. Baba Mohbad said he will never allow anybody to exhume Mohbad's body, and that was why there was this concrete slabs on the burial ground. He was so vicious. Baba Mohbad was so vicious that he is ready to conceal and bury any evidence. And I don't know what is pushing him, what was pushing him as of that time. These are the things we should look at holistically. The onset collected the saw blood. Can recollection and reality, how can you put that side by side, that you later recollected that, oh, okay, you saw blood when you went upstairs, you saw blanket stained with blood? Baba Mohbad never made any attempt whatsoever to report the demise of Mohbad at any police station. He went there to collect reports to be able to bury him on time, to conceal the evidence that was there, so that Mohbad will not get justice. It is obvious he's anti-justice from the onset, and he has never changed. He has never changed. For once, he has been there to block all seeing it, pretending to be looking for justice for Mohbad. We will never get close to justice. We must do away with the body language and the behavior of Baba Mohbad. Is disturbing. It's even more disturbing right now for him to go to court. Now you cannot sue the major problem now is that they are using court technicality to truncate the case totally. Right before everybody, they poured organophosphate on Mohbad's body so that it can he has left Mohbad's body to rot away in the morgue, and is there within the system. There are plans to destroy the most important evidence, which is Mohbad's body, through some certain mishandling processes, which the pathologist himself, Baba Mohbad's pathologist himself, has now come out to tell us that Mohbad's body has been mutilated with chemicals. And Baba Mohbad can sleep a night after that without even suing those handling the body, without suing the authorities for mishandling Mohbad's body, when his pathologist has evidence, strong evidence, that chemicals has been poured on Mohbad's body, and he can sleep and just enjoy himself. It is obvious he wants that thing to happen to the body, so that there won't be enough evidence for any traces. The DNA, Baba Mohbad messed it up. He messed everything up. So what has this man handled that he has not destroyed? What evidence that will help Mohbad that this man to help him with the DNA, to help him with the phone forensic, to help him to get for the police. He never complained. He never complained that the wrong persons have been charged to court. Baba Mohbad never complained about that. Even in his showing of DPP, he never for once complained that the wrong persons have been charged, and they'll be charged at the wrong court, which is a mere magistrate court. That means the government themselves do not see this case as a serious case as such, based on the evidence before them, because of the investigation of the police. Baba Mohbad and his lawyer were supposed to sue the Nigerian police, get a writ of mandamus to ensure that a proper investigation is done by the police, and also phone forensic on all the 15 people in the house and the family members. They've been shielding away from these two most important solutions, and they want that to waste away. And the reason why they want it to waste away is that there are limitations to the data mining, the keeping of data for phone service provider. They have durations when they can keep this. Unimportant things is what they do. The most unimportant things is what they do to appear as if they are working. He has a son by his side, and Baba Mohbad is going from one media house to the other, telling them to help them beg the Nigerian police so that they can do phone forensic. Baba Mohbad, his son, his second son, Adura, who was in the house, Baba Mohbad claimed that there were no communication between him and the boy, which is a serious lie. He has yet to call this boy to order to tell us, public, compel the police to drag Adura, to tell us what happened the night they got home, when the driver told us that around 3 a.m. rather, there was an emergency in Mohbad's house. Baba Mohbad has not cried about that. Baba Mohbad has not sued for that, has not even sued those individuals in the house on the testimony of the driver. He has not done any of these things. But he went ahead, sued the DPP, asking them to add Naira Marley and Sam Larry to a dead on arrival case, to build on nothing. Now, after this suing, and the coroner concluded their findings, and then they presented almost the same thing, or the wrong person, to the DPP, without Wumi being presented, without the two boys who announced Mohbad's buying in the vehicle not being part of those that will be presented to the court. Will Baba Mohbad now sue the DPP again for this wrongdoing? Because this is imminent. We are going to have the wrong persons being presented to the DPP, recommended to the DPP by the coroner court. It is obvious. We can see the case how it's playing out, because Baba Mohbad himself had damaged the most important forensic evidence, which is the autopsy and toxicology. In fact, in the process of damaging this most important information for the coroner court, he also scammed the public. He also scammed the public. Imagine, this is ridiculous. And this man will sit down there, and some gullible thinkers will be praising him for doing nonsense. Some gullible thinkers will be there, and they will be telling us we are getting closer. They will be giving themselves false hope. Will Baba Mohbad now sue DPP again? Will there be two case? Will there be two case for a single problem? Will there be two court sitting for the same case? It's not possible. Technically, they've ruled themselves out to challenge the DPP in the most important event that they need to have waited for, which is the finding of the coroner, given to the DPP, and then they are dissatisfied with it. They can now go ahead, file against the DPP, and then ask the police to do thorough investigation. They can't do that anymore because they've done one already on a frivolous charges. They are meddlesome interloper and great cover-up for the people who killed Mohbad. Baba Mohbad said he knows those who killed Mohbad. He was never arrested for that. The police never called him for questioning. Police never, because he made a grave day to whip Baba into line so that he will not be able to make mistakes like he's doing. Then we have Adura with King White. Remember, King White and Gurezi are friends. So obviously Gurezi and King White came from the same source, which are probably close to Wunmi and the people helping Wunmi to truncate justice. Adura is with King White, and you can see the behavior of Adura himself, the way he behaves sometimes. Adura behaves in a manner that suggests he's under some certain substance of influence. Either substance, and also Baba himself. We heard he's been beaten by Gurezi every now and then. So they use both physical coercion to control them and whip them into line, including Adura. The Karimot told us that at a point, Adura could not even find sleep, could not sleep for days. Who is beating him? Who is controlling him? What is making him not to sleep? With King White by his side. King White is controlling the family, the wife, the Baba Mohbad's wife, Iya Mohbad, and then Gurezi is controlling these people. It is all too obvious for us. And then the police are just folding their hands and watching as everything comes into total chaos to the advantage that they want. Baba Mohbad is an agent of anti-justice and is very, very active. He's within us and is very, very active, truncating it, and is not stopping. And he's not planning to stop soon. He's working hard on it. He has damaged the autopsy and is also damaging the court processes. This is what is happening. And so San Shitu was engaged to damage the court processes. If you see his antecedent, you call yourself a San, and the most important tools that you need to use to advance this case, you can't find. You are facing the list of problems in justice for Mohbad. The least of it is what you are doing. But the biggest problem, the police investigation, compelling the court, phone forensic, DNA, and all other important issues surrounding these matters, San Shitu failed totally to advance on this. But instead, they are choosing to fight for a magistrate court sitting of the DPP. They are not even stopping it. They didn't ask the DPP to stop it. No. They want a new person to be added to it. Now, after all these shenanigans, How will Baba Mohbad and his lawyer file to DPP for fiat when the full trial begins? They have lost legitimate rights to file to DPP and be granted fiat to be part of the trial, so that they can introduce even some other things into the pictures during the trial. So it is all well planned out. Legal clogs in the will, damage evidence, cry to the public as if the police and the courts are not doing enough to help, and then let all evidence waste away, and then we all bury Mohbad, and then we accept that it is the nurse and also Spendy who introduced the nurse that caused what happened to Mohbad. Is that justice? Those of you who are supporting Baba Mohbad, is a message for you. Sit down and look at your family, look at your children that will be part of this same society that we are living in, that we are fighting hard to correct. They will be part of this same wicked society that are fostering injustice and pretending as if they are giving justice out. Your children and your family will benefit from the same injustice. In fact, the brunt of it, the darkest hours of injustice, will be meted out to your children and your family. Not for us, because we fought harder and nature will favor us, because we knew that injustice is being meted out and pretended as if it is justice. We know it and we are fighting it. But you with Baba Mohbad clapping for him so that you can foster injustice and pretend as if it is justice, your children's and your family members will become a bigger victim of it, if not now, in the nearest future. I rest my submission.
Wow.
Very beautiful submission. Thorough as well. Point A to point Z. Beautiful.
Sorry, may I ask a question?
Sure, Richie.
Thank you. Insider, you mentioned something which kind of worries me about the fiat. So are you saying that the fiat is completely destroyed? There's no way for it again?
No, damn. If you charged me to court, and I will sit on approving your fiat to be part of my case. Will I issue it to you?
He has already kicked them in the face. Okay.
Morally, you shut it.
Yeah.
Morally, you are not part of the case anymore. Especially when you are challenging me in a court.
So do you think this is the kind of technical approach to actually prove to us public that, listen, I tried my best and now we're going to ask for fiat and then fiat will be ignored? Do you think this is a kind of technical approach to even, play to us that I've tried my best, it's not working, or something like that?
Where we are
a preparation to fail, if I can use that word.
Yeah, a preparation to failure.
Yeah, thank you.
Is a preparation to failure. That judgment coming July, and the judgment, the best Baba Mohbad and his lawyer can get in that judgment is for the courts to ask the DPP to delay their trial. They cannot ask them to stop that trial. It's not possible. They can only ask them to delay it until the coroner concludes its finding. But the DPP had already told Baba Mohbad and his lawyer in the court that the information they are privy to, the information that they have from the police that made them charge the nurse to court, Baba Mohbad and his lawyers do not have such information. They are not privy to such information. And even the coroner court are not privy to such information.
it's like a whip in the face, basically. Immediately.
It's a whip in the face, so it is dead on arrival already. So you cannot, and what the information the DPP has is what they are using to prosecute the nurse and spending. And that information was provided by the police, according to the respondent, was provided by the police. And how Shitu, as a son, do not understand these processes before he went to file this case against the DPP. It's mysterious.
It's a mystery for me.
It's mysterious. Yeah. The first person you should take on is the police. The police are the one that will provide such information for the DPP. It is obvious for everybody that it is police that provide information for the DPP to file a suit against the nurse and spending. So, and you know that the police had made a serious mistake. You charge the police. You charge the police.
There's so many gaps
to compel them to do a proper investigation, to present even a more important charges against this nurse. This nurse in the police preliminary investigation that was read to the public told us that the nurse is a quack. How can a quack nurse be charged for a quack nurse who is not qualified to carry out such procedures according to the police? How can they charge her for negligence? How can an unqualified nurse, according to the police report, unqualified nurse, a fake nurse who treated Mohbad, how can they present that case to the DPP and the DPP will charge her for negligence? Someone that is not qualified. Ha! And Baba Mohbad is now asking that same DPP to add more people to the case. Ignorantly. Is it not the DPP, the police that you will sue for presenting the wrong person and profiling the wrong charges for the DPP? Is it not the police? Why are they avoiding the most important situation, the most important case? Why are they avoiding it? And now cherry picking the lesser least important issues. It is seriously crazy. Believe me, it is crazy. And this man will now sit, and then we have that same platform, and they will be calling someone emperor for doing this.
Let's ignore those people. Actually, Insider, I don't know if anybody agrees with Tim Baba, who is looking for true justice. For me, I think there should be a complete overhauling of the whole team, including the SAN, because I'm wondering what that SAN stood for. Imagine, it's not easy to get a SAN in Nigeria. You have to be on a consistent run, on a positive consistent run to actually get a SAN. It's no academic qualification. It's about your antecedent, about what have you been doing before you actually reach that SAN stage. And I'm just wondering, how come this man would let himself be the face of all this? There's so many things. Ordinary cross-examination, to no avail. And yet, he placed right in front of you. And I believe as a legal advisor, as a legal representative, he would have pointed this out about the mannerism behind the investigation of this case. Not going to directly to say you wanted to take the DPP to court. I don't understand it at all. So I'm saying, what can we do to salvage this situation? I'm talking from a public perspective.
The best thing the public can do is to involve international bodies. Okay? Human Rights Watch and all the rest. Is to involve them actively and set up a pressure group for the Nigerian Bar Association, also for the executive, and the court, directly at the court, police, court, and the executive. Pressure group. We should be presenting the evidence of failure in police investigation. We should outline it. Evidence of failure in police investigation, which is obvious. No phone forensic done, no DNA done, based on Mohbad's claim that if DNA is done, we will know what happened to Mohbad. That was Baba Mohbad's claim. So why is the police not doing the DNA? Those claims are very germane. And then pressure group, like I said, pressure group will bring more international bodies.
Inside, I'm sorry, you have to repeat this again while I'm typing away. Please, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, we have to involve the international bodies and expose explicitly the failure of the police investigation. The major problem we have is the failure of the police investigation. Write to the Nigerian Bar Association, telling them about all the shenanigans by the coroner court themselves. The coroner court has not even asked for phone forensic evidence of all the 15 people in the house. Has not brought in everybody associated with Mohbad. The 15
Nigerian Bar Association, right?
It's the Nigerian Bar Association. We put pressure on them. And then the executive arms of government in Lagos State. That is political solution. And then we have international bodies, the Human Rights Watch and all the rest. Maybe we do organize a world conference whereby we explicitly analyze and present evidence of gross misconduct by the Nigerian police in investigation failure and lack of transparency in whatever they have done so far.
Thank you. You mentioned what's the last body you mentioned? I've got the international body, which is explicit failure of the police investigation. We are like that. The NBA, which is Nigerian Bar Association, then the Lagos Executive Council. What's the fourth one?
I think that was all.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all. If we're able to do this holistically, we don't need the family anymore. The family are also part of the.
But Mohbad himself is a criminal. There's no need.
He's part of the problem.
Yeah.
As long as we have him in front, they will always mislead us. They have a pre-planned result that they want everybody to believe. And we are not fools to be misled in such manner. In fact, they can do it in a way. The cover-up is too obvious for even the layman to see. That's why I'm just pondering why the followers of Baba Mohbad are still there. If truly they are looking for justice or they are sharing money. How can you tell the public that a man who is seeking for justice did toxicology and autopsy without location, giving us the address of where this toxicology?
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I guess, I don't know what to say. People will say it's an underground work. It's not an underground work, but I think maybe some of us need to work silently And if anything comes up, in a positive direction, then maybe we can share with one another. Obviously, you kind of get some people with a professional and experience and kind of intellectual um, brain and kind of brainstorming on what we need to do. And I believe those of us in diaspora, we have a bit of a hedge in terms of reaching out to like United Nations and all that to kind of expose this explicitly, as been mentioned by the international bodies. I, for one, I can do some little things that I know about all this stuff. But yeah, I think it's high time that we should think about the way forward because we've all seen the handwriting on the wall. We've been taken on a very pleasant voyage ride with the whole thing as it's coming to play in front of us now. So, and I'm sure the likes of the high tea guy, African TV, and the aristocrat are some people that we know we can think about, if there's any way forward to deal with this situation.
Yes, and that sounds like a way forward in a positive way. Nobody in Nigeria wants to do anything, so it's time to reach out. African Television, are you there?
Morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think we greeted in the comment section earlier on. So, Richie, great job taking notes. Insider, I never knew you were this bright. I've been understudying you, and my conclusion is that this guy is a real journalist. I've studied some of your work, and listening to you this morning, beautiful submission. Ideologically, sustainable. Everything you've said, I concur with. My problem is Richie's taking notes. You've said some of the things that we've been crying about. As a matter of fact, yesterday, I think on AY's platform, we also touched on some of your points to relegate the family to the background. The family, as we know it, they are giving us this illusion of justice, and they are not fighting for justice. And you captured everything. There is nothing to add to what you said except who's the pointer? Who's the leader? Who's going to take this bull by the horn? How do we relegate family to the background? How do we approach the international community? How do we organize the World Conference without scamming the public, without deluding the public? Your points they are realistic, but the application of these factors is what we need to work on. When Richie said he was taking note, I was happy. I'm like, wow, this is good. So we're not just talking. My mind was like, it's nice. We're not just talking. But what's the note? Where's the note going to lead to? And Richie came back and said something like, yeah, he's going to try and do one or two things. So if Richie is able to work with some people, I'll be very glad to see action. For one, on the issue of Joseph Aloba, I'm ready to file anything fileable to prove that Joseph Aloba has been deceiving the public, pretending to be looking for justice. I'm ready to file anything that is legally acceptable because we have enough evidence on him showing that he's misleading the public and he's really not looking for justice. All his lapses, we can tabulate them and put it. And you said something that really broke my heart. The fiat is in jeopardy. If you've been listening to me in the past few months, I've been saying we need to prepare for fiat. We need to prepare for fiat. because they've already set their game. If you play chess, you can study the move. They've already set up their moves. I see the moves, but what I did not see is this DPP factor that can possibly destroy a future fiat. And I'm glad you mentioned it. So my brain is going to be working on it. And I pray that everybody else will be thinking of it, because in the case of not spending, I can tell you the only thing we have is the grace of a fiat, because they've already set up the board. And now the same people we're going to apply to, this numbnut takes them on a goose ride.
Sorry.
He's taking them on a goose ride, so they already have one big weapon against us. But I guess if an independent organization is able to bring the fiat, it may be a different story. But he's already spoiled the ground for us. And this secret agent negotiated, I don't understand the lawyer that would file this type of thing at this time. And listening to Paprano yesterday, reading out the whole thing, I was like, oh my God, this is the same thing they did when they petitioned me. They had no substance. They had nothing of law. They had nothing that is legally, had which language self, me they no go let me miss yan. They had nothing in the case against me. And the same thing now, they had nothing in the case against the DPP. And this big name, San. A San that an ordinary a new call to bar lawyer will beat. Which kind, this is a disgrace to that name, to that man, that old man. I feel sorry, sir. I don't want to talk about
it. It worries me a lot. Yeah.
It's a shame. It's giving the disgrace to the community of Sans that even when you read the applications made out, it's okay. Sans lose cases. Nothing wrong with losing a case. But when you lose like you're a novice, like you don't even know what you're doing, that's a shame. So back to the point. Every team, every group, every foundation, you've heard Insider, and me, I've taken notes, and I hope Richie, with your notes, we can find the people to work with. But like I said, I'm throwing myself out there for all the lapses of Joseph Aloba being complicit in us not getting justice. I'm on it. And if you want to work with us, you're welcome. But we can't just be talking all these good talks and nobody's doing anything. So Insider, you, your team, your group, your friends, yourself, do something about everything you've said. Richie taking notes, do something. African TV, do something. Any well-meaning citizens of the world, don't let this conversation go to waste. Enough talk. I mean, I think we've come to the end of the road where it's obvious. If you were doubting, we were suspecting, time reveals all things. We've been given enough time to discover that we're getting played. I mean, when IT was talking, that was when I came on, IT talked about Konloro. Now, you look at it from daughter-in-law saying Konloro, Baba saying, no, I'm a pastor. Look how they've knocked our heads together. Some people believe Wunmi did it. Some people believe Baba knows about it. And me, I tell you, if I can place Joseph Aloba in that house, not just even in that house, if I can place Joseph Aloba within the show that was had, the so-called knife incident, so that Tuesday, I would say Joseph Aloba knows or had a hand in the killing of Mohbad. The evidence against Joseph Aloba is too much. It's overwhelming. The evidence, his complicity, his deceit. People say he doesn't know anything. He's an ordinary carpenter. I'm one of
the more you try to remove him, the next thing hits you in the face. The more you try to exonerate him, the next thing hits you in the face.
Thank you.
So what can you do?
Thank you. That's why I say if I can place him in that house, believe me, he will be my primary suspect because he has not done anything logical from a normal sense, from me and you being normal, ordinary people. No action of this man. Remember what Oriyomi said. What is he going to do when the father said, Kinikon, Kinikon? Everything about this man stinks. It reeks like he was already
Berekete,
pre-informed.
you did a runner. What else
You
do you
know,
want? Sign
so
document, petition, you refuse.
my
Yeah.
people listening to us this morning, let's not be deceived anymore. You know, I keep saying something. Some who have heard me have said, moving about does not mean action. You know, you can have motion. It's like a wheel rolling, but that wheel is not taking you anywhere. And that's what this man has done to us. He came, he deceived us, we fell for him, we empathized, we ran to him. And when he realizes that you are fighting for real justice, he finds a way to push you out. And then we blame the people. It's the people who came to him, it's the ADCs, it's these people. No, he's the mastermind criminal underground, deceiving, pushing all of us away. Because he's the one that has been put there as a shield. He's been placed to deceive us and manipulate us. And we as Galileans, we fell. As for humanity, we fell and we run into him. How could your daughter-in-law say, go and row? For those who don't know, go and row. Those who don't understand go and row means go and conjure the spirit. And that's one credit I lean towards the girl. Because for the lady to say, go and conjure the spirit, if you look at it from the normal conversation, that conversation will be from the point of view of somebody who is suspicious that something unnatural happened. Now, maybe it's part of their plan, but let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Because if I say, go and conjure the spirit, it tells you, I don't know what happened, but I suspect something, somebody had a hand diabolical. And the spirits will tell us the truth. Now, ordinarily, another innocent person will say, yeah, let's do it. My hands are clean. But this man refused. Now is the one being discovered to be taking Gbere and all that stuff. So it means his refusal was a cover-up. If that Koloro is true.
Abby has a question. Abby, go ahead, ask your question.
I know, Abby, let me. Man now told us that Okpa, and I will tell you when DNA is done. Now, number one, ordinarily, naturally, only a bastard, an ignoramus master criminal would say, I will tell you the son after a DNA. It's so unnatural, it's unbelievable, it's unacceptable. Tell us who killed him that you know. You see, this is one of the bases that I would personally drag this man to court. I would personally get the police, and whoever has that video where he said, Alelokpa, please send it to me. I will use it as evidence. Come and tell us the Ale. You don't need to wait for DNA. Because now, in the case of DNA, you're also the one that is publicly saying you don't have a lawyer, you don't have the money. You see, there is nothing, if you don't see a master criminal in the behavior of this man, you will never know a criminal. Abby, go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning, the It Guys, Azo, AY, Listic, Ebony, Dolly P, and Mr. African Television, the founder himself, and J Clock and the host. I greet you all. I do not agree. I do not concur to your statement, and it's your opinion anyway. where you're saying she asked the man, as in Baba, to consult the whatever it's called, so that he can know what happened to his son. It's an ambiguous line for me. It's got more than one meaning. One, I believe and I assume she has studied the family, and she knew that Baba is the kind that cannot do any African traditional stuff. So hence she said that. Two, yes, your opinion might be correct. She might have picked some funny and silly and tricky things, and that made her to suspect something unnatural. That's another one. And three, I feel it's a psychological, reverse, manipulative statement for me. Now, I know you cannot do something, but I'll just say it so that as to buy your trust. That's the third one. And oh gosh, I forgot another one. Oh my God. I'll remember anyway. I rest my case.
I just want to say something.
Yeah. It crossed my mind. Can I say it? Yeah. One more thing that has been ringing on my mind. African TV, don't take it personal. I respect you so much, and I know you did not come as an individual in this movement. You came as a foundation, and you did not bring yourself. You came you were brought either by the incident itself or by an individual being Baba. But something caught your attention, or your attention was needed in this movement. Anyway, I want to know your first meeting, your first conversation. I just want to know, if you don't want to respond, feel free to say no, you don't want to respond. From your conversation, can you recall how Baba phrased his statement, like his first words concerning the buy of Mobad? How did he approach you or introduce it to you about the buy of Mobad? And also, how did he get to introduce you this DNA issue to you? We are not going to talk about DNA. I just want to know, how did he say, I wasn't given the placenta, therefore I want to know the DNA or something? I just want to know. There's something that I want to know from what he said, actually, because I feel he's a scammer, and somehow, somewhere, you missed something from his words. Yet maybe because you did not portray him as a scammer in the beginning. So maybe you take us through your first conversation. Thank you.
Abe, you said you respect me a lot, and you're one of the very few people that I take highly in this movement, in this community. As a matter of fact, we are a community. We live in the world, outside the world. So in this community, you're one of the people I respect highly, and your question is highly sensitive, but I'll give you the respect of telling you as much as I can remember. For starters, I came in as an individual after consulting my company in Belgium and my lawyers in Belgium. So because we have been planning to open up African TV in Nigeria, we thought about, as a matter of fact, we thought about Justice TV. And when this thing broke out, I'm like, this is a good justice movement, to fight for. And we had an investigator in Nigeria. He's also a TikToker. And the investigator did all the conversation, the initial conversation with Joseph Aloba, with the lawyer and all that. I wasn't talking to them, I was getting report. And based on the conversation from the investigator and the lawyer, I think I spoke to the lawyer first after the investigator had made some arrangements. And when I spoke to Joseph Aloba, it was more on empathy level. We did not go straight into MOU and things like that, because when the lawyer spoke to us, the lawyer was particularly not really willing to engage in this venture for whatever reason, I don't know. And it was Joseph Aloba himself who fought against the lawyer and said, don't take bread from me. The people that want to help me, you're chasing them away. I will never forget that.
Anyone insulting my panelists will be muted or blocked.
So that lawyer who was a friend was the one. He said he didn't want the MOU. Like, he was like, no, because he was already engaged in court with the issue before we came in. And when I spoke to Joseph Aloba, it was mostly on empathy, and then we went into how can we help you? How can we? Because at that time they were trying to stone him, they were insulting him. The story of kidney being given to Davido, the story of he buried quickly, he collected money. So for me, I'm slightly older than him, and I'm like, no, I can't phantom a father doing all these things that they accused him of. So we were going to do PR to get the truth from him and relay the truth to the public. So the issue of the details of the death, how it happened, who was there, who was not our issue. Our issue was protect this man, get the truth from him, the narratives that the kidney was sold to Davido, the narrative that he collected money. Remember, there was the 4 million or 2 million that was transferred to his account. Those were the issues we were trying to clarify. At that point, it was not big like this, that, he knew about it, he was not there, blah, blah, blah. It was not big. We were more like, no, don't just accuse a poor old man for nothing. And everything was, if you see the MOU, it was like, protect Joseph Aloba, guide him from where he goes, what he says, because then people were pointing iPhones in his face, and he would talk and he would mistalk and he would say things. So we were there to protect him from being lynched, and also subsequently keep the name of Mohbad alive. Make sure that this young boy does not die for nothing. All the intricacies that we are finding out now were not even, we could not see it. We did not know that people would see that and connive and conjure stories. The Duvet blood was not even out at that point, So that was what happened. And that's how we got involved. And if you read the MOU, it was more or less legacy for Mohbad, protect this man from going anywhere to talk anyhow, and people tricking him to say things. But as time goes on, we're beginning to find out that he knows more than what was told to us. I still have the videos of the very first few conversations that I have with him, screen recorded on a WhatsApp. We didn't know details. So my plan was, when I come to Nigeria, we would have a proper sitting, do proper investigation of who killed, how was he killed, and all that. So, and when I came to Nigeria, after 1 or 2 court hearings, things fell apart. So that's that. Thank you.
You are welcome. You're so much welcome, sir. It wasn't a question of dragging you back, as in like to paint your name more. No. As a matter of fact, I just wanted them people, the likes of the Lagara or Team Lagara, to know that you did not force yourself into this saga. He actually the one who wanted you to help him. You get it? So now I believe it's clear that you were not fighting this DNA. It was his cry. And now it's clear that actually he was communicating with the lawyers, not you. And they were reporting to you. Therefore, they should delete your name permanently from this DNA issue. Thank you so much for your answer. And I want to take this opportunity to actually speak with or talk to this Flossy girl, my girl. When I say Joseph Aloba is a scammer, that's my opinion. And it's got nothing to do with personal issues. I don't know him, and I never wish to have known him. And I regret to have known Joseph Aloba. Anyway, he's a scammer to me because of his actions. If you want me to take through of how he scammed the public, I can ask for some minutes later on this show, because it seems like you're deaf. Thank you.
Right. Good morning, guys. In adding to the wife saying, "Let's go and get the spirit to to work in the favor of Mobad," Baba said he doesn't want to do it. To me, the reason why she will say that is probably because Baba has taken her to a few places in the past. If we all remember, according to them, Baba took her to a mountain for prayers in order for her to conceive. Now, when you go to mountain, it's not just prayer people go there to do. That, oh God, forgive me, give me this. There's so many other concussions that people eat. So for her to have said that to Baba, she probably knows that, yeah, for the fact that this is a mystery to me, and we need to know what happened. Baba, let us go and do this so that we can get the fact. Now, if we look at it critically, it's just like when people say you have to swear by Shango Ogun, is because you know that I'm not part of any dealings, so I should be free to do it. So if she's really the one that killed that guy, I don't think she want to say that. Now, like Africans we said, it might be their plan, it might be the script that you say this, I will say that, because all their stories is not even complementing each other now. The same Baba that said he doesn't want to do, all these culture, conjoining spirit and all of that, is the same Baba that apparently travel so many miles to his village and be doing some incision and all of that on his body. Now, if you ask me, I would say doing all these traditional, prayer, eating concussion, getting incision done on your body, to me, is not a big deal. It's nothing. Anybody can do that. It's your choice. But the fact that you portray yourself as a pastor in the morning and in the night, you are doing other things that is contradicting what you're preaching, is where I have a problem with him. But at the same time, I don't have a problem with him because it's not my case. I'm just a public who is interested in letting Mohbad get justice. Now, with the way Expander explained everything to us this morning, or his analysis, which we all obviously will know, is opened that these people are not going for the most important things, but choose to be buying time, thinking when the public get tired, they will fuck off. Now, these people in the house at the time Mohbad died, everybody keep traveling one by one. Lifestyle travel to London, two individual travel to South Africa, even the wife now travel to Gambia or whatever she traveled to. And the Mr. Aloba himself is busy chasing what I cannot explain. And don't forget, either son, either lawyer, their major practice is lie. They can lie, their lie can wake a dead man up. So when you are thinking SAN is working, at the same time, have it at the back of your mind that they may be lying to us, trying not to let us know the full details of what is going on. And that is what just played out 2 days ago when Baba came out to give us half-baked information. And at the same time, he exposes them with his explanation. He said, I've come out to tell you what I've instructed to do. So some people must have said to him, go live, talk to people, say this, say this, say this, say this. Do not say that. Trying to be ignorant, like, I'm not aware of that, or I didn't know, but you are aware of it, but they've told you not to go into full details of what happened. But the way God works, He works in a miraculous way. Under 3 hours, everywhere busted. Publication everywhere. For the people to know what actually happened in the court. That was a sitting, and you claim that there was not. So if you can be lying small like this, then you are confusing the public. They wouldn't believe you anymore. They wouldn't want to trust you anymore. But I like the fact that they keep fighting hard to convince the public that they have the A game. But unfortunately, there are not too many than the public who are really seeking for the justice. Whatever you say, don't forget that 100 of the public will digest it and take it one by one and analyze it in their head. So if you are lying, you'll be caught. And that is what Baba is dealing with right now. Too many go out there and say this and say that. It's too much, because they are trying to hide and at the same time buying time. If I say now that public should go hard on Baba with the statement that if they do a DNA, I will tell you who killed Mohbad, that is a very, very strong statement. Why do we have to wait till they do a DNA if you know the person that killed your son? Do you think we don't have a time, or we don't have things to do? Must we wait? Are we babies here? But people sometimes get carried away or can't be bothered to, pursue all of these things. And at the same time, because we don't really have people that could do this, reason why all these things are going away and they're having their way. At the time, people are saying, oh, Gurexi is the only one on ground. He's the only one that can help Baba. I don't say this to disrespect Gurexi, but anybody can get involved and help the poor boy who has died. But at the time, they put all the loads on Gurexi. Is the one helping Baba, is the one, and who know now the same Gurexi that helping Baba, the same man is a friend with the opponent, King White. He said they used to do a business together. They are business partners. How does that correlate? And you are still in the same movement for justice. Are you saying that at the point that you guys are talking, chilling, you're not talking about justice? You're not exchanging information? How is that even possible? But they keep doing this thing. They keep, rolling around and, making us feel like we are muguns. We are not muguns. The wife of Baba Mohbad, Ya Mohbad, said, or ex-wife, said, go and arrest Joseph Aloba. He sent people that buy Mohbad. All these things. a very strong statement coming from individuals. We need to go after all these people, either by petitioning them or loud it to the public. We have to start singing this to people all over the internet by videos, making videos, or because how can a man say, I know who by the son, but do DNA first? Are we foolish? But I will just leave it here now. I want to make a suggestion. It's a crazy one. And I know that people will just laugh when I say this. But if it can happen, you never know. Regards to the World Conference, I think that World Conference is very, very important. Make a video of it. Talk about all these things. Let people hear. And where I say it's going to be crazy is this, that people will laugh. Because we need action on the ground. I would say for the past, few months, we've been on this justice. Those that I know that they've been active, even though they are not settled here and there, jab is there. I would suggest African TV, Lady Aries, and Yomi Fabi to work together on that World Conference. Let them organize one crazy conference, make a video of it, and let us, work together. These three people, they are motherfucker crazy brain. Their brain is like, their head is banging every day.
Yeah.
Richie, I know you can add more to that.
They need to set difference aside. That's what I was saying.
Obviously, it's a crazy one because Yomi Fabi, African TV, for where Lady is with voila. But I tell you what, they can come together on this because this what Expander said this morning is a crazy banger.
Mm-hmm. I think it's possible too, but just need to set the difference aside. And then,
exactly. Thanks a lot.
Make it happen.
Let me come down for anybody else to come up.
Yeah,
you're okay.
Thank you.
You're okay.
Club,
nobody's requesting.
As usual, and that's the last crazy word, the last crazy sentence you mentioned. I've been thinking about it for a very long time, and at one point, I thought we actually got closer to it when the rift between Yomi and African TV was kind of settled, but I think it became a temporary settlement for somehow. But there's no need to ask for any intricacies behind it. But I still believe that you guys can work together. I strongly believe that,
I strongly believe it can never happen.
I wouldn't want to promote rivalry and rift. Yeah. But you might have your own genuine reason, IT guy. Maybe you see the things I don't see, but for my own
three mighties, as in like if you think about something mightyful, you probably want to think that there are three big personalities, and the three of them don't align and look at this agenda similarly. So that is happened in the past. Is happened in the past, and that tells you they all will carry on working as individuals in their own respective positions.
Yeah,
I don't. You see, the thing is, I see what you're saying. Let's brainstorm. Yeah. Now, if we gonna brainstorm, and you put Yomi Fabi as a man who is on the ground. There are other people in the picture that you can trust again. They are on the ground already. There is not Sammy Jojo and it's not Comrade Moses. Maybe it will be Comrade Moses. Who knows? Like you understand? So that means you've eliminated Yomi out of the process. Now, if we want to engineer aspersions and criminality, both Supreme and African TV are probably part of that process because if anything criminal comes in, Supreme comes into that. And if you're going to engineer Mago, maybe African TV will come into it too. So the thing is, it's never going to be straightforward. There are times when we're going to have to go through the process of bending the rules to get results. And then we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of all these three individuals. But the question is, who does the public want to work with, not them working together? I can't see any two of them working together. I can't see any two of them sitting around the table to agree an agenda. I can't see it happening. So we need to look, yeah.
Let me quickly chip this in. Let's take it as a project, right? You have some certain skill set, as I like the fact that you highlighted that, which is very important. And managing the skill set doesn't have to be their friends, right? It's a business. It's a project that we need to focus on, and the mitigations and the contingencies plan, right, would not be within their own hands. It'd be like you and I, or maybe Aristotle, monitoring the whole situation and calling things to book. How about that?
No, what I'm saying is, you can only work with one of them, and that is it. That is my point. So you need to choose which one you want to work with. Yeah. And like I said, there's been failings, there have been pluses and minuses and all that kind of stuff.
Are you talking about ego now? Are you talking about ego?
Well, it's not that. If you look at their antecedents, okay, Yomi Fabiyi comes into play. If you are not giving him money to buy boxers, he's not interested in talking to you. He can even hit the ground running and all that kind of, but he might not have anything to bring to the table. Now, if you look at Aries, if you look at Aries, no, listen to me. If you look at Aries, yeah, if everything is going swimmingly well, and they said, "Oh, madam, we can't get this one until next week," and she says, "I want it now. Give it to me now."
Yeah,
and
that's
say,
kind of
madam. If we have to, if we have to do it, well, we have to break the rules. Yeah, break the rules now. What is wrong? Just give it to me now. I need it today. I'm going to go live tomorrow. I need that information. You see, so African TV, on the other hand, is a man with a master plan. He's a man with a blueprint. And sometimes maybe he will mislead himself, he will misguide himself, because irregularly he will go off on one. And then when it goes off on one, it can actually kind of screw everything up. Because when it goes off on one, it divulges too much information about his master plan. So you can see the personalities. So the question is, who do you trust? Who do you trust?
I'm going to go differently. I like what you said, right? But I'm going to go differently. Like I said, if we agree that these three people, important personality, right, we want them to be in the mix, right? And there will be a balance of power, right?
Yeah.
And checks, if I use that word, as a kind of mitigation. No, we have people on the hot. If I use the on the hot, people like yourself, that you're not afraid you can criticize anybody to the core, to the toilet seat. I don't care. That's who you are. And you have people like that in the mix, right? You have aristocrat be saying, no, this is how things is done in the mix. And you have people maybe like J Clark, like Insider, like me, kind of brainstorming. So all these people are aware that the power is not residing in any of them. The totality of the power is not residing in any of them.
Yeah, but we only need one president and either one chairman, one president, or one CEO. And if there is African TV, so be it. And then the rest of it, mobilization can then take place. And even guys on the ground, I still mention his name, people like Comrade Moses and all that kind of stuff. Those are
Comrade Moses.
No, hold on. Those are no. Listen very carefully. You've tried Sammy Jojo. He hasn't got you anywhere. You've tried Yomi Fabiyi. He hasn't gotten you everywhere. Comrade Moses is not a saint, but he's not shy to actually come public and tell you what you need to know. Yeah, he's not shy to engage with the public, and very quickly, boss man is in there, nudging him not to speak, and he's going to say, "I want to speak."
IT guy, Comrade Mosey is the one running around saying, "We won, we won."
It's okay, but you need to see when you have people on the ground. and they have an assignment. An assignment is an assignment. You see, the thing is, Comrade Moses, the problem with him is that he is being pulled left, right, and center. He's also on the ground. He's also like African television, people who have impacted this case one way or another. And you can't really take it away from them that they've done things on errand basis. They definitely want justice, whichever way. We all need to make a living in life, and I've engaged with him even outside Justice for Mohbad stuff. Engaged with him on Madam Adenike's platform on a Sunday, just even talking about life in general, not even making reference to Justice for Mohbad. So I know he has something in him, and he has something he can actually offer. So if you are trying to conjure a process where we get African TV, Yomi Fabiyi, and Supreme to work together, then what is wrong with Comrade Moses? You see, this is the thing. People are on the ground. They're not going to go away. They've been... Well, it's a
He's
mole,
a
but it's
mole.
going to stop. But the thing is, you say, this is the thing. When you say people are moles, no. When you say people are moles, yeah, it's okay. But they are still part of the process. But if they have a specific assignment, what is there? But if you have someone that you want to put on the ground, is it going to be African television running around with his video, showing you the hospital, running around looking for money for boxers or whatever?
I
You
understand
understand?
that.
It's not the
But
CEO that is going to be running around doing all that.
You know,
And then the thing is, you see the problem we have. Gurexi is a mole. Lagata is a mole. King White is a mole. A mole to whom? We are just making it up. Even the IT guy has been likened to a mole. I'm a mole. I'm supposed to be someone the Nigerian authorities have sent in there to go and destroy justice. Ask Aristocrat. Aristocrat will tell you. So
are you buying your next house in Swiss Cottage then?
Well, if they give me 15% of that royalty. Yes, good boy, Aristocrat. Carry on.
Good morning. You see, is this discussion you are having? That is why you cannot have it. This same discussion you are just talking about. That is why you cannot have something like that. It cannot happen. Let me liken it to that year when Real Madrid had all the best players in the world in its team. Did Real Madrid win Europa? Did they win their own league? They can't. Why? Because the coach cannot harmonize them. You have kings, a pack of kings to take over. You want to take over them, you're going to have a big problem. And you will see division everywhere because each of these individuals have their peculiarity and trait. And because their ego is their biggest problem, you will never achieve what you want to achieve because their ego will never be stepped down. They will tell you they are men or women of their own. So why do you want to go into such enterprise? You will see people come out to say, yes, we agree to it. But when they start work, it will be in tandem to the objective. And people will still come back and now blame you for going to do it. So why do it?
I guess you're speaking from experience, Aristocrat.
Even the people that you want to work for also have misgiving about each of them, just like IT guy said. This one is a mo, this one is anti-justice. They don't have evidence, but they go about to speak rubbish about people, which tarnishes the image of those people. Even if the people are making the right decision, they don't see it as right decision, as long as it doesn't align with their thought or their biopic vision, and they will tell you, no, they are working for government. But you'll be giving them the true thing. Okay, Richie, tell me, since we started this thing, each time I've been commenting, what do I always say? Many people will say, Aristocrat is for government, Aristocrat is for Wumi, Aristocrat is for the... I don't care, but that is the truth.
Working for the police.
you understand? But that is the truth. But now assume I am the one to make decision for just... You will have killed me all this while. And after you have killed me because of your not understanding the game, you will now say, oh, he has said it before, but you have killed him. The same thing that happened to all prophets. When prophets are telling you this is what it is, people will say no because they see now. So I don't personally, like I mentioned, Alati Onile Isheni is a dream that will never come true. The best way to do it though is you can harmonize the strength, and this is the best way. Let me just give this.
Thank you.
I believe there is nothing impossible, but I believe in impossible. Now, each of these people you say should work together, you must give them the section of their strength to work in. They should own it. However, before any further action is done, they must discuss it in a conference and agree on how to act. That is the best way to do it.
They must sign an agreement not to petition each other.
And that is management skill.
Exactly.
You need to have that management skill to harness each department. You do your job to your strength. Bring it to the center. We look at it. Everybody will argue at the center. All your argument ends there. You then decide what way to go. Exactly. None of them, they don't have to work together, but they must come and argue their points in a central meeting. It's like a central government.
It's like a program of.
When you argue it, whatever that is agreed at that meeting is what will be done. Now, the person that will now execute it is the one that will lead what they agreed on. And they will follow because they are the few people. That is the best way. But I don't really see that happen. I don't. You know why? You have people saying, this is the timeline. But they are always listening to the noise in the market. They are controlled by the noise in the market, which is always a lie, which is just rumor. So because they are controlled by the noise in the market, they will be hastening up the process, and you will not achieve it. It's like people that will say, I want organic fruit, but you will go and get some things to make it grow fast. It's no more organic.
Okay.
You've added things to it. If it's organic, you need to be patient.
Aristocrats.
But they will never be patient.
You're saying this?
Yes.
Please, let's take it. No, you said something very positive. And then you said something about the risk involving any of this individual. Right. And I believe it's a kind of putting down a risk management aspect of it. And I still believe the neutral people, maybe like yourself, IT guy, will be the kind of the program office who you can call any of those three guys to book. And the baseline that we're talking about, all these things, involves money, whether we like it or not. Right? And the disbursement of money will be coming from one pot, which is from the program office. Are you getting the point? So with that, we mitigate against the risk. Anything that has to go to any individual will be accountable. Right? And there will be a high degree of transparency, at least within the team. And I strongly believe you highlighted one, which you said now. Legendary is like boom, 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 boom. I want to get it done. No, then the timeline will change. African TV is very pedantic. No. This is what I've done. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Yeah, that's the kind of person he is. Your means like, oh, okay, no. Oh, this I have to go and do this. All these things. All these things. When there's a program office, all those things can be mitigated easily. I don't know how it's going to happen, but based on my own little experience,
Richie,
I've done that many times.
talking about risk analysis. So let me tell you where we are.
Okay.
So we're going to do a checkpoint, and the checkpoint is that we need to choose a leader. And at the top, we have African television, we have Aries, and we have Yomi Fabi. So it's only one person that is going to lead the pack. So when you do your risk analysis, when you do your risk analysis, then you're able to look into the picture to kind of think, okay, if we mitigate that risk to the bones, and we all get involved, and we all have these meetings and all that kind of stuff, and you have your risk register, and then we more like, ticking all the boxes, dotting the I's and crossing the T's and all that. Let's say, for instance, just as an example, we now decided that the African television is our CEO, so we're done. K Crown that has just joined, he's been in the mix. He's been sort of like part of a process where he wanted to be the communicologist. He got sidelined, and Gurexi actually picked up the gauntlet. And then you now know that Gurexi himself is a problem child. No, listen to this. He's a problem child. Now, the thing we have is every individual, every single one of us have our strengths and our weaknesses, right? So you're not going to put IT guy where you don't want something to go out. You won't have me there, right?
Exactly.
So, and then if we look at K Crown now, and we know he's got his own sort of like brand. He's been involved in places and all that kind of stuff. Let's say he's our communications man. And you look at Comrade Moses, he's got his own flaws, plus and minus here. Even if you decide that you look at Lagata, you look at Westo, you look at Arifa, you now the
conference and a better result. Now, conflict of interest. I'm here while this conversation is taking place, and it will be, some people might say I should not speak, and that's why I've been quiet. I actually waited for Aristocrat to speak so I can steal from the wise man some ideas. And and he's spoken what was on my mind. But I'll say to you guys, I have two solutions. Personally, as African TV, in the interest of justice for Mohbad, I'm willing to work with anybody. You've offended me in the past. You've called me names. You took me to court. It doesn't matter. What matters is how do we get Mohbad justice? So me, I'm telling the world, I have no problem working with anybody. And when we start working, if you offend me, I will not shut up. I will tell you. And if you try to steal or scam people, I will call it out. So those are the only conditions for me working with anybody. Don't think that you're God and you make a mistake and somebody should not call you out. So that's that. I'm willing to work with all parties, new people, in the interest of justice for Mohbad, not in the interest of who you are, what you call yourself. Now, solution. The Bible says it is good that we have division for those Christian brothers. And I believe in Muslim, they also have divisions. They have they have different divisions in the Islamic religion as far as I know. And in Christianity, we have a Catholic, Apostolic, 7 days, Sele and all that. Nothing wrong with any of these people that you have mentioned. Nothing wrong with them working on their own. On their own, nothing wrong. What you as a public need to do is choose whom you think your synergy, you understand their method and you want to work with them. So all parties can operate on their own towards the World Conference and towards the what do you call it? Towards relegating this family and getting justice for Mohbad. So it is not a must. Apostle Paul said it. It is not a must that we must work together, because by having divisions, we begin to understand the strength of everybody, and everybody is able to operate independently and bring their creativity to the best. So that's that. Now, what I hear today is what I call J4M Foundation, Justice for Mohbad Foundation. You guys may not like it, you may not believe it, but what you're doing, you're forming a foundation for Mohbad. And if you really want to operate in this way, you need to select people that you think are real, like the aristocrats, the Richie, the ITs, and whoever is on this platform, and form this J4M Foundation. And if this J4M Foundation is formed, you can now use your executives of this J4M Foundation to liaise with the 3 or 4 5 individuals you've mentioned. And between those 3 4 5 organizations and the J4M Foundation, you can now share ideas and execute justice for Mohbad. So those are my 2 solutions to the conversation without bias to anybody. And I'm loving it. I like the ideas that people are trying to move forward. So that's all I can say for now. Thank you.
African TV, in terms of leadership, we don't want to work in silos. We just want, yeah, that's a wonderful submission. That's a wonderful submission. Now, one thing I would look at, we only need one leader. Yeah, we're not going to have people working in silo. And for me personally, everybody actually have their own opinion. In terms of leadership, we've given Yomi Fabiyi and Aries the opportunity. It's African TV that's been suppressed all the time. For me, it's high time we gave African TV the opportunity to lead. Based on all our experiences and all our flaws, if we have a leader, we need one, and that's leadership. Just one individual. We can't work in silo anymore. We've done it. It hasn't worked. Yomi Fabiyi is engaged with Aries. Before Yomi Fabiyi, Aries jumped into bed with Yomi Fabiyi. Aries was in bed with African TV already. More Piers Foundation, in guise of chairman, were also working with Aries at the time. So there is a bit of leadership aspect of foundation and all this stuff. Now, this may be the first time that we're going to engineer this process, and we're not going to work as a foundation. We're going to work as concerned citizens of the world. And this is my way of separating, because we're trying to mitigate risks according to what's his name again, Ebony Love, Richie. So mitigation of that risk will then be, we're not going to work in silo anymore. We only want one leader at the top. So the process of elimination, the risk of all the mago manipulation and aspect of swaying out of what is agreed already, we can't have Aries who just jump pure everywhere. From working with Yomi Fabiyi, you engaging with Olori Ebi, you engaging with King White, you are going to sit on other people's platform on Temi's area. We don't need a leader like that. That's not leadership. That is literally Donald Trump, who doesn't know what he's doing, who is going to Iran to say, "Bab, drop some bomb." As soon as he did that, Iran decided to show Israel some pepper. Then at the end of the day, even the B-20 and all the $20 billion plus that they put into the process, we have now another pond, which in Iran, if it's correct, what we saw in the last 24 hours, which is now become a shrine. It's now become even useful for Iran. And then people can then go in there as tourists to go and see the result of how they dismantle the so-called nuclear weapon. And that is what you're going to get with Aries. That's what because Aries is not going to sleep. She's not going to sleep. And then when she wakes up, she can just give instruction to anybody to do anything. Anything. Combustion. Irate. Hands in the pants. Any aspect of human being not never having any rest, and you can just give instruction anyhow, and then when we all come together, I did it and that's it, I'm the one at the top, so what do you want to do? You're going to work with Yomi Fabiyi, who's not going to even speak to you unless you drop money in the coffers. Unless you put money in there, he's not going to speak. And if you even want to give you updates, he will say, gift me. You haven't given me lion, and you want me to give you updates. Are those the kind of miscreants that we're going to deal with? We know their flaws. Their flaws are dangerous. Dangerous to the point of starting World War III. So for me, why should we even be mentioning their name right now? Because African TV is here. But if Yomi Fabiyi or Aries, if either of them are here, do you think we would have been able to moderate ourselves with decorum? No. They would have gone in there. They want to be the leader from anywhere, even if they are not appointed. And they lie. And they just keep telling you lies. At least African TV, wherever the case may be, anything you throw at him, he will tell you exactly what it is, and then you go and do your fact check, and you don't have any fact to bring to the table. He's been transparent, he's been suppressed, he's never been allowed to do anything. Everything is him that is wrong. Everything is him that, yeah. So we're going to have to give him kudos when we have to. At least he's honest. At least he hasn't stolen public money. He hasn't done 1.1 million. He hasn't gone somewhere to say, stop donating money to this guy. It's high time we call a spade and not open a foundation yet and just come together as concerned citizens. And then if we're doing it with that transparency and we're working together, we achieve something. Foundation can come later. If we achieve something and result comes out of it and we decide to now sort of like bring the union into a foundation, so be it. But until we achieve something, let's forget about the matter of foundation. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. Sorry, I've been very, very quiet. Well done, everyone. God bless you. I'm going to do something. I'm going to say something, and this is going to be annoying to me as well because I have a sister. She does this to me, and it annoys me. I have a very fantastic idea, and I'm one of those idea poppers. Although in reality, in my day job, I have to really, really be logical, and I always say that that's why I'm very logical in my thinking. But when I'm out of work, I'm very, very on my feet thinking, and have all these fantastic ideas. And she will always come and be a party pooper and be asking me the questions that I have not asked myself, But there are times when you just need to brainstorm, or is it thought shower now they say, without coming in with the reality of what needs to be done. And I'm like, I'll be like, come on, girl, leave me. Let me just bask in my euphoria of ideas for now. So my question, this is why I'm going to be the party pooper. So we're thinking of as brand new, not really brand new, because the people that will be involved are people that have been involved in one way, shape, or form all along. A J4M Foundation, in quote, or whatever we want to call it. Now, this time around, you want to put the family of the victim and relegate them. These are the people that really, ideally, we are kind of finding justice for, right? Because justice for their son really should be justice for them, unless they have a hand in the so-called spying. But anyway, let's assume they don't. Maybe they have in a way, but in an ideal world, justice for Mohbad should be a justice for his family. Until, like I said, if we prove that they're involved. Now, you want to relegate this family to the background. There have been different bodies, like entities and characters that we have described that have been involved in this justice for Mohbad for the past 21 months. Among those bodies, there are people that even believe that the government is an enabler because maybe there's somebody high up there that really knows what's going on, but they are covering for one person, they are covering for another. So this new consortium or whatever we're forming will relegate the family. So obviously the family will not cooperate. They will not comfort willingly unless compelled to give you anything. So you're going to be battling against that. You're going to be battling against those people that have been cashing out, that's the word, they've been cashing out on justice for Mohbad. You're going to be battling against them because they're going to be like, who are these new so-called people that they think they know better? They want to do what we have not been able to achieve in the past 21 months. And you're going to probably be battling against the government because, I'm sorry, on the face value, justice for Mohbad, according to the government, on the face value is they want to send spending. I keep forgetting that guy's name. And the court and the nurse to one court. That's them. They think that's just what they believe. They've done their conclusion. They've done their autopsy. They've said it is the nurse negligence that killed Mohbad. So as far as they are concerned, homicide, plebiscide, it is the nurse that killed Mohbad. Well, through our negligence that caused the buying of Mohbad, and they're going to charge them to court. So as far as they're concerned, the state resources is engineered towards that, and that's going to be that for them as far as they're concerned. So unless we are towing the government line, unless we're coming up with something new, definitely all this battle that you're going to fight against, you will need resources. And I remember, was it Ebony that said it, or was it Jack? I don't remember. One of those. We when we had one of those debate, he said about, oh, it was because money is involved. Unless, I mean, so what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of battles that will need to be fought. And then are they gonna be another begin to donate money again? Because I mean, like I said, all these things I've described, you're gonna fight a lot of. Are you gonna start another process of donating money, and then you now find out another 21 months? I don't want to be a party pooper, like I said, and I don't like the fact that I've kept silent all the while. I came in to be saying this, but if really and truly you want to think about this for justice for mobile, maybe for other areas, I mean, obviously, like we do, and when we talk about project, you learn from lessons. If we're saying, okay, from what we have learned now from the people that have dealt with this just for, let's set up something for incoming, maybe future situation that will happen. That might be a different kettle of fish. But if you're still thinking about justice for mobile, there's going to be a lot of resistance, and there are going to be a lot of resources required, and you better be ready for what's coming ahead if we really want to do that. But I'm very skeptical, and I'm very wary of doing this for justice for mobile. For future, I hope we don't have things like justice for mobile. For like what African TV said, like you said, Justice TV. For future justices, definitely, because yes, people here will be really critical because they've seen it, they've seen what failed or what didn't work for justice for mobile. So for the future, yes, I will really be enthusiastic, and I will want to throw my weight behind that for the future. But for this justice for mobile, unless someone is telling me something brand new with evidence, I'm afraid you got your work cut out for you. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to buttress that. I think one of the important points you made there is simply that we were too trusting at some point, and we obviously did not know what the future actually holds at the time, and we gave all the power to Joseph Aloba. So he's the main complainant. He's the one that lost his son and all that kind of stuff. He's also the one that collected the money. You see? Now, your point, Dolly P, beautiful point. If you're doing this on behalf of the family without getting the family involved, that's one problem. If you put everything together, who are you fighting? The government. Without the say-so of the family. The question is, what the hell are you fighting for? Because it's a project team, just like project teams that were there before, working alongside Joseph Aloba directly before everything went wrong and everybody went their respective way. But if you're going to do this without the involvement of the family, and you already believe that the family and the system are order, because you are not working with them, you don't trust them, they don't want to work with you, but all your findings as you're finding them, they're also working in their own respective way, the government on one side, the Baba on that side. And to what benefit? What do we bring out? Okay, we're going to get up to a point where we're going to write petitions. The petitions are not going to go anywhere because you may need Joseph Aloba at the end of the day to sign the petition being the complainant. So it still defeats the object. And you are right about the fact that maybe if we come together now, instrument something of togetherness, work out a process that if something like this comes up in future, we will be the global Nigerian citizens, because we are spread across the globe. So we will be the one that will use the force of, according to Richie, going through the risk assessment and all that kind of stuff. And then in future, it becomes iterative because we've eliminated all the wastes in the first cycle. We now have learned a lot. We now have a blueprint, and we're now going to inject that blueprint into anything that comes up in future. And what comes up in future may be that the inquest is done, recommendations are in place, and then you now have the DPP and the Attorney General saying, okay, it's only these two people that we're going to take to the higher court. Maybe then those people open new kind of worms. Then, because we've galvanized ourselves and we are ready to attack, we are now attacking that process from that foundation at that point. So I see that you made that point, and I just kind of thought, let me just loan my understanding to your submission.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah.
1 second. IT guy, how can you emerge K Crown into the situation?
So we have K Crown. Then we have what was that guy that spoke earlier? Another sort of like journalist that spoke earlier. What's the
Insider backup?
Yeah, so Insider can work with K Crown as well. You see, this is the thing. These are guys who have done a bit of journalism. Westo has done a bit of journalism. You can actually kind of look at it and think, what you guys talking about? Let the three of them bundle themselves together. Because at this point in time, if you decide that you want to be part of the group, then at that point in time, we all know each other's agenda. We know each other's antecedents, and we know where we've all been. None of us are saints. And if you look at a situation, if K Crown, Westo, and Insider have worked for like different companies before, and they have their flaws, they have their pluses and minus, in terms of their character, and the three of them just meet up somewhere, and it's like, oh my God, my brother, how you doing? Westo, Insider, K Crown, yeah, we work together on that justice for Mohbad. We are now working together, this and that. If you look at anyone that has any experience of journalism, we're not looking for certificates. We have our own biases about everybody, every single one of us, and that will be that. And journalism, at the end of the day, sometimes is a matter of interest for some people that actually become a household name. Look at the Ovation magazine when Ovation magazine started. Look at how this guy now became a household name. Look at how this guy is now touching matters all the way to the federal level, state level. Look at how people kind of welcome and champion his opinion. It is not about whether he has a PhD or not. It's just that he started from somewhere. People started trusting him. And then at the end of the day, he's now being celebrated. And now you listen to him, whether you like it or not. And you see, the thing is, we need to laugh at ourselves. Yeah? If you look at Richie is also an IT guy, just like myself. And sometimes when he brings something up and people are attacking him, antagonizing him and all that, I will jump in and say, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Let's actually look at it from holistically. Someone's making a bit of noise there. Let's have a look at it holistically. And then, yeah, we are now able to jointly work together and enlighten people who are confused. Okay, why? Because I'm the IT guy, and Richie is saying something about IT. You don't want to trust him. Why do you then want to believe the IT guy if the IT guy supports Richie? And we are both IT guys anyway. So these are the things that we need to put into consideration. And for me in life, one thing I will never discount is to say, like someone was saying to, I think it'll take a while for his name to get into my head. The guy that spoke earlier, the journalist that spoke earlier, and it was being attacked by BioBillions, who said, 25 years in journalism, what have you achieved? That is all we are as Nigerians. I, the IT guy, I put my hand to my chest today. A lot of my friends that I met along the line that I don't even know from a can of paint, I have worked with them and they've converted from being someone who was servicing aircraft in Bristol is now an IT guy. Someone who was a lawyer when he did his law call to buy in Nigeria, came to the UK, didn't know where to go, is now an IT guy. Someone who did probably BSc in some mass communication or wherever the case may be, where he is today, everybody is now commanding respect, commanding, acquiring sort of like success out of the money they've made off IT. And think about that. Now, all of us now, we go to a symposium or a summit somewhere, we are all IT guys. But when I met these guys, they weren't IT guys. So it is not your qualification. It's not a piece of paper. It's your antecedents, it's your character. It's how you warm up to the public. Don't forget Westo was commanding respect. Westo's platform was a platform everybody wanted to be at some point. Something went wrong. He got involved with the boss man. Why am I not even mentioning the boss man? Because the boss man is a bloody Judas. Because the boss man is a devil. The boss man can't work with us. He's not honest. If boss man is honest, he will be a man that will come up with all the information he has in one go, rather than, oh, let me pinch it, let me minimize it. He's boss man on my platform that said, let Wumi cross over to Tanzania. Let's confirm it and you will see what I will do. And I lectured him. We all tutored him. We all schooled him. She's a witness. And she will go to Timbuktu and come back. She will go to Iran, Israel and come back. She will go to America and come back. Never mind Tanzania. Actually, she will even fly on a private jet. And there's nothing you and Yomi Fabiyi can do about all this nonsensical charade of going to the borders. And why would you want to work with Yomi Fabiyi? It's an illiterate. A stark illiterate that doesn't know that Wumi is a witness. A stark illiterate. Give me Yomi Fabiyi's education qualification. I will put goats in a pen with him, and they will still be superior over him. Goats.
IT guy, that is unfair of you to say. Let me tell you the
I
truth.
say what I want to say, my brother.
Listen, IT
and I
guy,
stand by it, so challenge me.
Let me tell you one thing. Sometimes
go on.
You have your own right to whatever you speak of, whatever your utterances. That's your own. That's the way you feel.
Oh, I feel so happy. I feel so happy.
No. What I'm telling you is not about you feeling happy or sad or whatever. I don't care about how you feel.
I am actually happy. I'm happy.
Let me tell you this.
I can articulate myself where.
Let me tell you this.
My own opinion.
Let me tell you this. The moment I sent that request was because when you mentioned Yomi Fabiyi, what else do you want from me? What else do you want from me?
Yomi Fabiyi is a thief. He's a thief who's stolen public money and delivered nothing. That's my summary.
Let me tell you this.
He has delivered nothing. CCTV, no show. 3 seconds video, no show. Trying to get detach Adura from King White, no show.
May I have
and how many millions of naira has it gazumed?
Question from you, IT guy. What have you done?
Yes. I've just bought some pair of boxers. I'm gonna give it to you to give to him. What I've done is use my voice. My voice is more superior than yours, and that's the reason why I'm the IT guy.
You're not making any point.
I've used the superiority of my brain, and I've actually put money in Joseph Aloba's account. I know. To me, he's not going to get a dime from me.
He's asking you questions.
But I will buy him boxers and I will give it to you to give to him.
People like you, IT guy, you know you have been doing this for some time now. And I do not appreciate it.
For the past 21 months when you were still in your nappies. 21 months ago, you are still in your nappies.
Let it be a very
so you can't come today and want to come and engage with the IT guy. You are a maggot, a worm, a colo.
I'm going to move to you now.
Nothing but a miscreant, a maggot, a good for nothing follower who follows Yomi blindly. who wipes his
Listen,
bum when he
IT
wants
guy,
to shit.
finish whatever
And
you
you
want
want
to
to come
say.
and start talking nonsense
It's
here.
whatever you want to say, and I'm going to come.
Bumbleclat you,
I'm
man.
going to say my bit.
Bumbleclat
Say
you.
your bit.
What
Say
I
your
say,
bit. I'm
man?
going to wait.
Can I say something?
Yes.
No, because I don't
Bumbleclat.
understand. And I've come across this. Let me tell you something. I think a few people are just getting to know Yomi Fabi. Yomi Fabi blocked me on his on his Instagram years ago. I'm not going to come and tell you my personal bias, and you know why? He kept on, and I don't know whether some of you know. He was attacking a particular actress. I'm not kidding. 2 years consistently attacking that particular lady. And I asked the question one day, I said, why can't you articulate exactly what this person did? Why continuing to cast aspersion on them? Articulate exactly what they did. Take them to court, take them to police station. You wake up in the morning on your IG and all you are doing is ranting about this person. It's unbecoming of you. And he blocked me. But I'm not going to use that because obviously I don't know what went down. And I was really worried. And as much as we are all, and I'm not going to go, as much as we are all here, there were some things I later found out which kind of made sense when I started to study him. And for that, I have a very big reservation. But IT guy, I'll tell you something. Yomi Fabi is not an illiterate. He is not an illiterate. He is very smart. That is the only reason why someone can be comparing Yomi to you, saying, what have you brought to the table? IT guy, did you raise any GoFundMe? Did anybody donate money for you for coat? Nobody donate money for you for small chop, for party. Yet, you are being asked what you brought to the table. But Mr. Yomi Fabi has managed to convince some people that he brought something to the table. You know why? A lot of verbosity. That's the word. A lot of words. Let me tell you something. If you forget about sucking up to people or having this, this is a celebrity. A lot of us Nigerians, maybe because I don't know, it's more in Nigeria. Here, people can love the prime minister but still criticize him. But in Nigeria, once you like someone, they cannot do any wrong. Think about it. You're asking IT guy what he has done. Meanwhile, IT guy has never once said, I've come to justice for Mohbad, I need donation. But it's IT guy you are demanding accountability for. Somebody that was given about $11 million, and even when he was asked on TV, he said the reason people are asking about the accountability for the 11 million naira, I said dollars, sorry, 11 million naira, is because they have a poverty mentality. It is true. But yeah, you will be asking for money, oh my geology, when you have a poverty mentality. At the same time, the truth that can coexist. At the same time, you can be accountable with having a poverty mentality. But you manage to sway. Yomi is a smart guy. But I say this to you, what he was doing on Justice for Mohbad, as far as I'm concerned, don't let me talk. Let me
Yomi is here because he's learned the gullible nature of Nigerians.
Wait.
He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have a mission. He doesn't have visions. He's only here to cash in.
Let me bust your brain. They're asking you for accountability. Somebody said when Yomi was new back into Justice for Mohbad, somebody was asking about his antecedent on Baba Jesha. Somebody said, what does that got to do with anything? For goodness sake. When you go to apply for a job, you go with your CV and you go, and whether you believe it or not, people don't understand. Your CV is your antecedent. It shows what you have done, how you have done it, and you prove that to people to say, oh, he can do it. Now, this Mr. Yomi Fabi managed to convince people that Baba Jesha was not guilty, despite the fact that there was CCTV evidence, despite the fact that the guy himself said, Isha Ishuni, it was a setup. Hold on a minute. It was a setup that you walked into. You didn't mean to, blah, blah, blah. But he managed to convince people that the guy did not do, even though the person that did it himself said, Isha Ishuni, I didn't really go all the way. I only did some, but he came out because he has good command of English and he will use some Jamen, Vabo, people said it didn't happen. Don't we as people do our own investigation? You just hear something because your favorite person said it. You don't go and do your own personal digging and investigation. They took it hook, line, and sinker because Yomi used some wonderful words. The same with 3-second video. Who does that? And now it's you, IT guy, that is being asked to give accountability, not the person that collected the money. That's why Nigeria is why Nigeria is where it is. I've heard this many times. People ask him, at least Yomi is making some move. You don't collect 11 million naira or 5 million. You don't collect 1 million naira to make a move. In fact, if he didn't collect anything, the fact that he said he came for justice for mobile and he's going to find, you don't just make moves, noise.
Allow you to carry on.
And
You see what we have. Someone like this Firefox.
Oh, you hate Yomi. Oh, Auntie Yomi.
Firefox is an omugo.
Why not to allow her to finish her submission?
You are an omugo. You know whistleblower is. I'm a whistleblower. She's speaking, and I've asked for an excuse. I have for the excuse. You are an omugo. I am a whistleblower on justice for Mohbad, and the ass of your boss is out in the open.
You're not mixing.
It's out in the open. The ass of your boss, Yomi Fabiyi, is out in the open. I'm a whistleblower. That is what I've achieved in justice for Mohbad. I blow whistle. I open their asses up in the open. And your governor, Kebe, is out in the open. Your governor is a thief who have stolen government public money and is ran away for a second time. Is he going to come back? Are you going to tell us if he's going to come back?
He's not going to allow you to speak. He won't allow you to speak.
Oh, Badie,
he won't allow you to speak.
I think can I say something? Firefox, can I say something? Firefox, just chill. You know, I want us to know the IT guy for who IT guy is. Trust me, if you want to keep talking, you're just going to stress your head. An IT guy, that's just IT guy doing IT guy. Please, don't even stress yourself, Firefox. Now, don't stress yourself about IT guy. You know, if I used to be bothered, but now I just go with the flow. You understand? Dolly P, sorry ma. You see, if Mr. IT guy is talking about Yomi, I would say even if I'm not okay with some things he says, I won't say anything because I feel he's a justice seeker. He's somebody who can criticize anybody. But you see, Dolly P, you that sees no, I see the excuses you make for Wunmi every single time. Even something that is obviously wrong that she has done, I see the way you make excuses and you defend this lady. So you coming out now just because IT guy is talking about Yomi, you're trying to take the opportunity to start down talk Mr. Yomi. I just think that you just have to be realistic and stop being biased. When you see something wrong, you say it's not because this person is not your favorite, then you try to make excuses for them. It's wrong. If you're amongst us here talking about a fellow justice seeker as a team with me, even though you sometimes say you're neutral, though I don't see anything neutral about your submissions, but you say you're neutral. So if you're here going to be talking about a fellow justice seeker, I don't think this is the right place for you to do that. I'm not about anybody. I'm not against anybody talking anything about Yomi. I have my reservation about Mr. Yomi as well. But has he not tried his best? He has tried his best more than myself here talking every day here. He has done his best. People contributed money for him and this and that. Well, if he has gotten results, I don't think we'll be here talking about 11 million. We won't be here saying that. But because we have not gotten results so far, that's why we're all saying this. But Dolly P, please, ma'am.
Say one thing. Please, 1 second, please. Permit me to say something. All the money that was contributed to Yomi, he made a show for it. We had conferences. He did a lot of things. Meanwhile, some people are sitting down. They are sitting their asses down in their living room with their family, and the only thing they can do on the social media is to come out and call him names. That is why Nigeria is what Nigeria is till today. Some people have nothing to contribute into the big, but they are just negative. Anything anybody does is negative. Now now these are the same people that are suggesting new move now. Let's put somebody up there. Let somebody else come and run the race. Let somebody else. Before you even start running the race, you have lost already. If you just try such a thing, you understand? So I will not stress myself. Yes, I'm not stressing myself. Realistic, you can continue what you're saying because they keep calling Yomi, as if he stole their money, as if he stole from somebody. What do people want? What really do they want? What? I don't know.
Governor is a systematic biro criminal, original only, original Jankoriko, who came to the public place to siphon money of the public. Okay, when this guy was going to do his last show, he collected over 10 million. How much did gala cost inside the police canopy? How much did Coca-Cola and Crush cost under the police canopy? We give him the rest of the money.
I'm going to ask you for
giving him the money.
You have the
let him
evidence
keep
about
it. And he jumped over the fence for a second time. He did an actor, Nollywood movie. He went through Europe. I feel sorry for the son that is even using to collect money off you Golelites. Money of you Golelites. Somebody is a thief. He has stolen. The only thing he can do is to do Nollywood show for us, jump over the fence, run over the fence, jump into a taxi. We buy him pata. We buy him pata kupa. We bought him boxers. And he sits down in there talking nonsense. This guy, Pablo Jossy, is even getting involved in hacking people's phones. He's getting people to hack other people's phone.
Say whatever you like.
Your master is a thief.
I hope you
we
enjoy
have
everything.
rewarded him. As long as he doesn't come back, we will be happy.
I understand you.
Yes.
Who you are. I understand you now.
And I don't care what
So
say what your permutations are.
Say whatever
I
you
don't
like.
care
What
you the deals in your little brain that doesn't even materialize or anything useful. Because when we started this joint here, we started it. You were still in your nappies. You are still sucking dummy. You are still taking milk through feeder. And you want to come here and start talking shit. Bumbleclad you.
Yeah, sorry, I'd like to come in there. The Firefox, I'd like to.
Is that for me?
Yeah, no, wait. I'd like to address you. I wanted to refer you to something. Can you hear me properly? So hold on. There is a post on his page about the symposium that was cancelled. Have you by any chance read the context of the write-up that he just released, I think 2 days ago or maybe a day ago? Have you by any chance?
I have a feeling you're about to enlighten us, so I will listen.
Please, anyone here can just go to his page, read the post that he put up on his TikTok, explaining how he deposited about, he had a contribution of over 6 million naira, how it was meant to be spent for a particular cause, and how he was not able to get a refund back for all of those things. My question is, for an organized entity like that, or a platform like that, you don't come and give accountability based on a written statement or TikTok videos. You need to bring full receipts, agreement between you and the people you gave the project to, and then be transparent. As much as people want to come out and say, oh, this is their observation and their findings, there should be a way to be transparent, which is bringing out full receipts, transactions with these people, and your bank statement. As an NGO, I believe you have to be credible. You have to come up clean and clear. You don't just put a write-up. If anyone goes there and read this write-up, you would definitely laugh. It's not about coming forward to say, oh, this is coming from Team Wumi. See, one thing that I've noticed here is that when you want to try and enlighten people, they make it a team agenda. Oh, because you're Team Wumi, we're not going to listen to you because you're coming here to disrupt the peace between Team Baba and the rest. Let's speak about the fact. Let's emphasize on the truth and not try to subject it to team and divide the attention of people. The fact is there. This post is on his page. I would urge everyone to go and read. and then come back to this discussion again. It's just a funny post, to be honest. Thank you very much.
Dabs,
Yeah.
IT, I want to beg you. You see, we started this morning with constructive conversation. We started with keen into it. Now, for the guy that came saying it's already dead on arrival, I think that's very bad. That's a very bad statement and a disrespect to Mubad and to the movement.
Who said that? Please,
No, hold on,
who
sir.
said that? Who said that?
Somebody said, no, I'm paraphrasing the word. The summary of that conversation or what I took was, it is the same people like you. Sir, please, I don't want to engage in argument. Can I make my submission, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, for that statement, that is the same people that want to form another organization. It's dead on arrival. That's why Nigeria is like this. Again, that is an apology to Mohbad and to those who have been suffering, fighting for Mohbad. Any new ways that we can help Mohbad is what we are exploring. So condemning that is very wrong. And maybe that person was not there in the beginning. Now, IT, there was a question before the commotion started. The person has dropped. And you actually responded to the person, but I don't think you responded fully. So, but first I want to beg you, IT, when you're making good moves like this, slow down the jabs and don't give room for people to come and distract from a constructive conversation. Now, I want to respond to that person because the person asked the question like, there's something that he said that it's a big challenge. Be ready to face a big challenge, and you want to relegate the family to the background. The family will fight you. The government will fight you. Those are very strong points, and I appreciate those views from that person. The response is this. First, relegating the family to the background does not mean removing them as the family of Mohbad. It means the public will do those things that we are legally able to do to fight for Mohbad. Such things as petitioning for the petition of Mohbad to be reviewed and the people responsible to be held accountable if they are found wanting. Now, we don't necessarily need the family to do that. It means calling out the police where we, the people, remember the police works for us. Police is your employee. We that the police work for, we believe the police has failed to do their job properly in this area or that area. We don't need the family for those things. And if anywhere, as we proceed, we find out that we need the family for any particular, and let me give you an example. In the foundation for Mohbad that I was starting, at a point, the CAC asked me if I have family permission. And at that time, I had the MOU signed by Joseph Aloba. So for such occurrences, we can engage the family and say, we're fighting for you and here we need this. Whether it's the birth certificate of Mohbad that maybe somebody somewhere along the line requires that we bring. We can go to the mother, we can go to the father, we can go to the wife, and we can go to the family to say we need the birth certificate. So posing it as if without the family we cannot move on, that's wrong. And again, the other aspect of that question was maybe for future occurrences. We don't pray for future occurrence for any of our children, brothers, sisters, mothers, auntie, uncle. We don't pray for them to go through this type of death. But when that formation is active, and you guys said your antecedents, if we start this with Mohbad, and God forbid, because devil will always do devil's act, if something shows up, our experience in justice for Mohbad will be applied in any future occurrence. So the future occurrence, the current incident, that's what we're battling. That's what this formation is all about. So please don't down ideas if you don't understand the motive or the people, the strength and the resources of those doing it. Now, All the NGOs involved, they're doing it individually. I'm doing mine individually with my group. Other groups are doing their own. But if all these groups are able to come into a coalition, my people will be sending me to say, okay, Mr. Larry, that's your group. Go and tell them this. This is what we want to do. And the group will be able to look at what we're doing and say, you guys want to do this? Let's discuss it. Yeah, we think it's good, or we think it's bad, or we think the other group is doing it. So this light bulb idea that's been going on, let's not kill it. Let's not kill it with all this attack. We know the scammers, we know the fraudsters, we know the egos, we know the shouters and angry people. Let's leave them to their pocket. The good, the bad, the ugly, we can manage everything to get mobile justice. Getting mobile justice is the focal point. Whether A stole B, B stole A, if they bash your guy, the more you defend your guy, the more you allow them to expose your guy. I thought we passed this era of bashing people. So let's not wake it up again. Let everybody prove themselves in the court of law and in the justice for mobile. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I really appreciate everything. And I would like to ask just one or two questions. Which category, do you belong to? And I believe people that call people names, they have their excuses for doing such a thing. Like they have a reason for doing such things. What do you think they have against Mr. Yomi that you think he didn't do well, that you can do better? Let's even put you in the field on the field of play. Let's say we put you on the field of play right now, because I ask that question the whole time, and I ask IT guy.
I don't think African television should answer. I don't think you should answer, because it'll be just used against him.
He can answer that. He can answer that because
it'll be used against him.
Host, can you please control this discussion? The discussion here is not about personality. If you have something to contribute to the new way these people are trying to fashion new things, do. But when you come defending one person because someone among the panelists has his opinion about them, you are derailing the whole discussion.
Exactly.
We shouldn't allow that. Host, take charge.
That's the reason why I asked that question.
That kind of question, you don't asking this question, you are derailing it further, because the question you are asking is about a personality. Okay. We are not here to talk about personality. We are talking about new agenda.
Aristocrat.
No.
Hold on.
I've listened to you since. I have listened to you since. You are derailing the discussion.
Maybe
you are derailing the discussion.
Let me rephrase it. Listen.
Aristocrats.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question now, please?
Ask a question, please.
Yes, Alona.
I already asked the question in the comment section earlier, and I said if we are bringing all these heads, leaders from different group and with different way of seeing things, how are we going to resolve how are we going to resolve our interior disagreements? Because
because I want and we
can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
If anybody can hear me, please mute me. Mute me if you can hear me. Mute me, host.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're sounding weird.
All right.
And I believe that it's the followers that's the problem.
All these leaders, all these African TVs, or Iris, Yomi, Westo, and Co coming together to form a unit to help get justice, or to have a group to help get justice furthermore in future also. How are we going to, because everybody have different opinion, and there's no way we will not have issues. Hope is not the issue that will now be coming on public to start fighting each other because Aries disagreed with African TV, because Yomi disagree with an aristocrat, because all those kind of things. How are you going to resolve things internally that you will still be a unit to come out to fight for the same cause? Because I'm still seeing the same thing
Very
happening
much for
now,
your
even on the
question.
platform.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. I think the first place we need to take this is number one. All of us must come to the realization that the problem of leadership are their followers. Followers are the biggest problem. Let me take Nigeria, for example. I will tell whoever cares to know, Nigeria as a country does not have any problem. It's a land filled with milk and honey. Nigerians are the problem of Nigeria, and it reflects in everything we do. For example, on this thing we are talking about, people come and say it is high time we stop this deceiving, divisiveness. It is high time we stopped it. Now, for us to move forward, let's recognize the specialty of each of the frontiers. Specialty of IT guy, specialty of African television, specialty of Yomi, specialty of Papariano, specialty of African whoever. Let's recognize their specialty. And how do we harness these resources? And I liken it to Real Madrid in 1999 or 1998 to 2022, when Real Madrid had all the best attackers in the world in one team. For their campaign, they never really recuperate the money they used to get those teams. Why? They could not harness the talent. And we said here, to do it, we allow each person to, number one, understand the vision. When they understand the vision, we deal with them in areas where they are strong. Let me take Yomi for example. Yomi is very good in creating awareness. Going for, we will mobilize here, we will mobilize there. Give him mobilization. IT guy is also good in analysis, in his analytic position, looking at things without biases, and let's allow him to do that. But this is what we are going to do. Identifying each person's strength, we bring it to a round table and say this is what area you will handle. But you don't go ahead and execute it. It must be executed together. So when you come with every task you are beginning, it's just like a company with departments. Marketing department, sales department, production, administration, security and all that. When they have a progress meeting, everybody tell you your progress report, and at that meeting, everybody will argue what they have to argue out, and they will set the agenda of what has to be done. There must be a spokesman, not those people that will be the spokesman. Because you were asked to go and lead protest doesn't mean you will be the spokesman. No. It is the person identified to be telling the public that will be telling the public. So information going out to the public, we go through the designated personality or personnels that will be asked to do that. They are going to have an overall coordinator. So in any case, when there is clashes, everybody will have signed an agreement. You take your dispute to the central sitting and you discuss it. We are going to have, like Ebony said, you are going to have a treasurer. When people contribute money, it goes to that place. It is that person that will disburse it to the third party, not IT guy, not Yomi, not that. Everybody do your plan and bring it to the central, and you can raise money if you have to raise money. But when you now have followers coming always to, no, it will not happen like that, because at the end of the day, you are working from a central organized people. What is important is to harness the resources. One of the biggest problem of this justice for Mohbad from the point of we the public is, number one, we fail to understand that we should be the one leading. If you are leading, you create a channel to discuss with anybody you want to discuss with. You create a dispute resolution mechanism. And if anybody goes out of it, your spokesperson will come out and dissociate the group from that person instantly. You don't wait for it to be discussed. Because when you have explored your disciplinary or conflict resolution process and the person remain adamant in doing something that is tantamount to the general people's idea, you dissociate yourself. And it should be a public thing. Communication is the best. One of the biggest problems in this justice for Mohbad at the time and in the place of the public is underg, no communication. You can still do underg and you can also communicate. We simply need an avenue where people need to lower their ego, need to lower whatever they come with, and come like someone that wants to learn and contribute. Under a new management, everybody will do their part, but you will be given where your strength is, but you are responsible to the central, and the central is what? Everybody around the table. You will always present your point or what you are asked to go and do, and others will contribute. Everybody, you will now make decision on how to execute it. Chikena is no rocket science. But as long as people always feel someone says this, he will defend, you continue to do it. We don't have to do that. We don't even need to shut it down. An idea can always come up. A foolish idea, most of the time, is the best. But every one of us have one or two things we can add to this thing. And it must come in a constructive way. And it must come in a way that you should also be ready for people to criticize your idea, break it down, and rearrange it so that everybody can agree. Simple. But once we go on headway like this, it will always be the same. It will always be the same. One person should not be, only me will talk. Oh, no. You are good in running. You will be the one to run. However, you listen to instruction. That is how a football team is run. That is how that is how sports are done. In a team sport, everybody can do different things, but you listen to the coach who utilizes you when he needs you, not when you think. Because when you flout that rule, you are putting the whole team into jeopardy. So I think even if this thing has to be done, we should also look at the attribute of a real team player. A team player is not seeking glory, but is seeking glory for the team. And the team player will do his own part and also help others where he feel he can help. I hope I've answered Lona's question. Thank you very much.
Louis, how far? Nah. I honestly think this. Yeah, the loner's down on the bottom. Let me see who's coming up. J Clock. I don't know about this whole thing, to be honest with you. There's too much division.
And I'm happy you said that, host. I'm happy you said that. You don't know about this whole thing, and but people try to bring things up. And from what you see, I have not been disrespectful to anyone. I never disrespected anyone. IT guy, I'm going to tell you this. Before I came up talking about Yomi, you were the one that attacked Yomi first. You were saying things about Yomi. You called him a stark illiterate. And that was the reason why I came up to tell you, you don't have to call a dog bad name just because you want to pie the dog. You don't need to do that. After all, he told you guys he doesn't want a problem for his life. He is a successful person anyways. He has his name. Some people want people to believe that. In need of money. What sort of money have Yomi not seen in his life? In fact, let me not even talk about Yomi. Let me just leave it that way. Let's look away. Let's talk about
Firefox. Can you contribute to the discussion? Leave Yomi discussion. And I don't think anybody should talk about personality. Just contribute to the discussion.
Yeah. That's why I said let me leave Yomi. The question
before then we go ahead. Let me just quickly say this. right? I remember bringing this particular topic up regards to Yomi, the Aries and African TV. I have mentioned them because I know that obviously they may have their craziness behind the scene going on. But the purpose why I brought this up is because I want us to see the positive side and how we can encourage them to get this done, especially the World Conference. Because if we have to start analyzing the personalities and what they've done or what they could do, I think we will not get any quality outcome from the discussion. I mentioned the name because if you remember I said it's going to be a crazy one. It's going to sound crazy, but I know that they can do it if they want to. So I wouldn't want us to dwell on maybe one person is a this or that. Let's just see how we can encourage or advise them and get this ball rolling. Thank you.
I think that they should all speak amongst each other without the followers. The followers are the problem, to be honest. They're coming up to defend whatever they want to defend. You cannot say anything about anybody without the followers jumping in. You're speaking on behalf of someone else. Let that person speak for themselves. And I think that African television, Yomi, and whoever else was mentioned should speak amongst themselves to where all the followers are not listening so they can jump in and destroy it. Because that's what's happening. The followers are destroying any idea that comes along. I believe they should speak amongst themselves, and someone has to be the one to bring them together. And if African television is going to be the lead, he needs to do that. He needs to bring them all together. African television, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm sure he can listen to you, but yeah, I think he's not around right now. Let me quickly say this. I asked him a question. I told him, I said, what is he going to do differently? Something somebody else haven't done. We have all tried. We have done our beats. Like we threw.
Well, I believe that would be discussed amongst them, not us. It's not our business. Let them get it together. Let them get things organized first to where they all agree, and then we all could come in to support African television. What I was just saying, instead of any of followers, all the followers of the three people that was mentioned, you, Yomi, I believe Aries, if you're going to be the lead, you need to go to Aries and Yomi behind the scenes to get organized, to get the agreement going, and then all the followers can come in to assist. But trying to get this together now with all the followers, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be the lead, you need to pull the other two together, have your discussion together, get an agreement going without us knowing. After you have agreed, then we can come in and assist where we're needed. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if we're discussing this in the public...
Thunderfire, I understand you. Like I said earlier on, I'm willing to work with everybody, newcomers, old comers, past enemies, current enemies, all in the interest of Mohbad. Apologies, I'm outside, so if you hear noises, I'm outside. So I'm willing to work with everybody and anybody, but this is one thing. Those parties, when I hear them publicly say they are willing to work with everybody, I'll approach anybody that publicly says they are willing to work in the interest of justice for Mohbad with anybody. But when people have said, I don't want to work with African TV, I'm not going to work with Aristocrat, I don't like IT, it won't make sense for IT or Aristocrat to approach somebody who has publicly said they don't want to work with them. But based on this new development, I'll keep my ears to the ground. And, most of those names that have been mentioned, if I hear any interest then I will approach. I'll take your advice to approach. Not that I want to be a leader, not because you're mentioning me that if I'm willing to lead, you don't lead by appointing yourself. People appoint you, and they appoint you based on what they see that you're doing. So when all of us talk, then if there will be a leader, it will be decided by all of us. But me, I'm willing to take the step.
Well,
Like I said,
I think we need an intermediate to pull you all together if you all can't speak to each other.
exactly. Good idea. Good idea.
It just read my mind. It just read my mind. It just read my mind. And what I would say is this: me personally, I would suggest, if he doesn't mind, it's not like I'm imposing. I would suggest aristocrats to initiate this within the three of them. Probably going to send them an email or inboxes.
No.
Maybe IT guy
I'm
can
not
do
open
it.
to that. Maybe you can do it.
Maybe IT guy. I don't mind.
No, maybe you.
I don't mind.
Maybe you can do
I
it
don't mind to do it.
initially. Later, when they've all agree, they can bring things up.
Okay.
Maybe you can do it. I think that would be nice.
I'll give it a go then. I'll give it a go. No worries.
Thank you.
Anyways, thanks for your time.
Thank you,
I was away from my phone. The initial reach out and engagement. If you bring me in on it, I don't mind, because for me, I will embarrass the three of them and floor them instantly if they start playing any mago game.
That's good.
I don't mind being part of that process.
So aristocrats, IT guy will be doing it. So I'm out of it. Not that I can't do it, but let the IT guy.
No, Richie, you're not out. Richie, you're not out. It's you and aristocrat so far. What
That's not Richie, that's J4M.
Sorry, you're an IT guy. IT said if you bring him in, he would like to be in it. So that means two of you can do the planning.
Nobody is doing anything right now because you're not even talking to Richie. That's J Clock, Mr. African TV. We are actually going to let this
Sorry,
thing
I'm not looking at my phone. Sorry.
Yeah. So let this thing let it cook. Let it cook on its own. Things will happen. But for now, for real, I won't lie to you. As long as we have differences, individual differences, and people calling people names, let's just call a spade a spade. Only if you want to pretend as if maybe we're in a cult.
You really shouldn't be speaking for others.
Firefox, there you go again. You are too pessimistic.
I rest
and
my
I
mic.
don't like that. If you are coming to a place
I'm
where
muting my mic now. Aristocrats, I'm muting my mic.
Firefox, Firefox, you are too pessimistic, and I don't like that. Everybody has reservation about everybody. And when someone comes and say, at this point, there is need for all worrying factors to shield their sword, stop talking about it again. You should be looking at the cup half full, not half empty. And that is the more reason I said, oh, J-Lock, go do it. But you are saying it will not work. Leave it. Let them do it first before you say it will not work. At the name that were mentioned, none of the names were yours. Let J-Lock, let him reach out to these three people first, listen to them, hear their concerns, and take it up from there. He can now come back and say, oh, now it will not work, or it will work. But in the presence of we planning, you're already saying it will not work. Then you don't need to come to the party. Let the people that believe it will work come to the party. That is how things should be done. Nothing is getting for free.
I said something just
Nothing. You must fight for it.
Yeah, I just said now, let us encourage and embrace more of encouragement, because we know that these three people, they have their individuals, differences, but for now, we don't care. We just want to see how we can persuade them and encourage them to work together. It's as simple as that. But if you are saying it won't work, we don't condemn already with that now.
Yes, we shouldn't be speaking. We shouldn't be speaking on their behalf. Let them speak for themselves.
That's true, but on the other side, we also have to look at the previous antecedents of this kind of situation came up in the past, where someone tried to call different people behind a group and created a WhatsApp call.
That's past. We're gonna try for future.
No. I do agree on that, but at the same time, we also should take.
I don't want to hear it. I want to hear positive, not negative. Let them people speak for
Hello.
themselves. If they
Good morning.
choose not
This
to,
all
then we
when
look
this
for some
all
other way.
yeah.
Thunderfire.
So
Good morning.
when the old discussion started, I would have been the one right now saying it's not going to work. Oh, this and that, blah blah. I even championed just one CEO and all that kind of stuff. Now, series the different ideas has actually come to the point. And if you look at it, like I said, when I dissected these three individuals, they have their own positives and negatives. Their characters are vibrant. And then if we look at the same way we dissected, we do our risk assessment. And then we can see that these guys actually have good qualities to bring to the table. And yes, if there is transparency and we are dealing with the matter in its own right, and no one is allowed to sort of like just
The rest of the guys can explain further if I'm missing anything. Thank you.
Quickly, before anybody else, let me quickly ask you this.
So wait. Let me ask you a question.
Hold
I
on.
came because
I
of
have
the
one question,
firebox.
please.
I want
Just
to
one
ask
question.
you a question. That is why I came up.
No.
You are defending everybody. I want to ask you, what have you done yourself personally in this?
It doesn't matter about the public at this point in time. We're trying to get some people together to see if we can do something. Those people need to get together first before we even have any say-so in it. That's the point. The public are coming up with all their own, oh no, it won't work. I don't want the negative. And we don't need each other challenging each other. We're trying to build something and we have too much negativity. That needs to stop. If every one of you want justice for Mobad, you need to keep an open mind. Bookie, I'm not going to bring you up. Good morning. I'm not going to bring you up because I know you're on the Woomy side. You think we're after Woomy. That's not the point. That's not it at all. We're just trying to get the justice for Mobad that Mr. Aloba is blocking everything. That's all we're trying to do. So y'all are just saying all the wrong things and being all negative. I don't want negative. And we don't need anybody up here defending where nothing is, don't need to defend anything. And you don't need to speak for those people. Speak for yourself, not for those people. Let them speak for themselves. Period. IT guy, you're going to be in the lead. So I'll be waiting to hear. We will be waiting to hear without any bias or anything.
IT guy and J Clock. Two of them to, reach out to the people and let's get the feedback, probably by weekend. So we see where we move from there. But the biggest obstacle to success is you not trying at all. If you don't try, you don't know if you will be successful or not. And that is the biggest regret. If no one is seeing it as that, then that is how it's going to be. So just start it. Just start it first. Those who have shown interest to do it, just start it, reach out to people. And you can also consider some other people. So at the end of the day, if there is a possibility, in that, let's take it up. I just think we need to
We can either try or
and
do
something
nothing at
new.
all. We can either try or do nothing at all. Chan, back up. You are so negative. You are so fucking negative.
Let's be clear about something. This is not about justice for Baba, and it's not about justice for Wumi. It's about justice for Mobad. Thank you.
Thank you. Too much fucking negative. I can't believe it.
Actually, permit me to say this. This is not about Yomi. This is not about anybody. This is about justice for Mobad. The only reason why I attacked the IT guy is because we need to
It's over
start.
with now. It's over with now. He came back
Yeah,
and he said
yeah,
something positive.
yeah,
So
yeah.
forget
That's
about it.
yeah, yeah.
Forget about it.
It's done. It's done. It's done.
Thank you. No more
See,
on it.
for me, someone saying I think I stay away from something group. Look, I have been part of a steering group in this motion, of which Aristocrat was a member. I was there. Susie for Justice, even Crunch Queen was there. And I think another lady down there, I can't remember her name now. So the steering group probably comprised of about 7 people, and we were able to able to identify our mission, our goals, our vision, and what we needed to do. We collected money. We did the digital billboard. So it is not an underground movement. It is just a situation that we cannot iron things out in public. And we reported to the public, and we accounted for every dime, every penny, every kobo. And we did what we had to do, and we all moved on from it. So it's not a matter of that I can't be part of a group. I was even the one that instrumented a group we set up. Within a short period of time, it got disbanded. It was 7 of us, and it got disbanded. So that would be that about that. But the thing is, it's not about a gangland union. It's about a situation where we want transparency. It's about a situation that we sat on whose platform the last time, and we managed to settle the score between Yomi Fabi and African television. Wherever it is that did not happen after that, well, that's their own problem, because we did the best we could. And if the situation is such that they're still fighting their own fight, then it's up to them. But when we intervened, some people went onto the Green app. Lenchi was involved. Pierce was involved. They did what we had to do, and the rest of them, well, we left it to African television. So it's not about a group. And if you look at Aristocrat, you'll be shocked. How many times he's reached out to people's DM? How many times he's been able to bring people together? How many times he's been able to nudge people to settle their scores that we did not even know about? So things that are done where it's done where it's done. This is not about justice for Wumi Cynthia Adebanjo or justice for Joseph Aloba. It's justice for Mohbad. So if people are in their camp, they don't have to be part of this process. This process is different. We are not fighting for Jossy, and we are not fighting for Wumi. We just want justice for Mohbad. That's it. So if it means someone like myself can be part of a group, and we're looking for something positive to bring out of 21 months with no result, and we know people have touched different grounds, different boundaries. Everybody have got different skill set and all that kind of stuff. And we want to marry up to that, bring it all together. African television has still got the biggest blueprint that everybody is using when it comes to foundation. Supreme is been there to be the iron lady, to break all barriers and all boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Yomi Fabi he hit the ground running. So yeah, we have our negatives and positives, but at the end of the day, we haven't achieved anything. So if we come together today and we decided that people on this side, we've been working against ourselves,